on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. After 3 straight wins, the Tigers have opened up a 4-game lead in the Central Division. And as the dog days of summer continue, the Tigers' bats have showed no signs of slowing down. Alex Avila has homered in back-to-back games, and on the strength of Tuesday and Wednesday's 8th-inning home runs from Brennan Bosch and Ryan Rayburn, the Tigers have taken consecutive 1-run games from the West-leading Rangers. Finishing the sweep won't be easy, though. The Rangers trot out hard-throwing right-hander Ogando, who has already beaten the Tigers twice this year. Detroit counters with veteran right-hander Brad Penny. The Tigers go for their 4th victory in a row next. But first, we send it back to the Call Sam Studios and Mickey York. It is turning into a beautiful day for baseball here in the Motor City as we welcome you to Comerica Park in downtown Detroit. Texas Rangers in town wrapping up this 3-game set against the Tigers. Tigers have won the first 2. And today they go for the sweep. Here is the starting lineup for the Rangers today, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Ian Kinsler leads it off. He'll play second base. Elvis Andrews to shortstop. Josh Hamilton is in left. Michael Young, the DH this afternoon, followed by Nelson Cruz. Mike Napoli will catch for Texas. Mitch Moreland, Andres Blanco, and Andy Chavez round out the starting lineup for Ron Washington. The scouting report on Brad Penny today is presented by Scott's Lawn Pro.
Well, Brad Penny will need better fastball location today. 5 days ago, the Angels touched him up for 7 runs in just over 3 innings pitched. He's starting to get a lot stronger, the velocity up to 95 miles an hour. So he needs to back off a little bit to get that good location back he had earlier this year, and also mix in some off-speed pitches very early to keep some of the dangerous hitters off balance.
And don't forget, if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries.
Let's take a look at the Tigers defensively. They've got some of the young legs in the outfield with Dirks and Bosch and Rayburn. In the infield, they've got Betamit and Santiago Guillen up the middle. Don Kelly is spelling Cabrera at first base. Cabby is the DH today. And Vmart said he is the catcher. Avila also with the start of this contest off. And, of course, defensively always presented by the fine folks at Beaumont Health System.
So Victor Martinez get a chance to catch here this afternoon. And Martinez will hopefully try and slow down some of these rabbits that the Rangers do have. They have a couple in their lineup, including Kinsler, who is leading it off. He'll be followed by Anderson and Hamilton.
And no doubt, if they do get some traffic on the base paths, they'll be trying to challenge Martinez. Last year when he was wearing a Boston Red Sox uniform in a 3-game series, they stole a boatload of bases.
So Brad Penny set to go to work. Sun is peeking through the clouds for the first time today. The first pitch of the ball game is a little bit outside, 1-0 on Ian Kinsler. Kinsler is really struggling right now. He is hitless in this series and 1 for his last 30. Too good a hitter for that to continue, though. The 1-0 pitch. That's outside. 2 balls, no strikes.
You may remember 5 days ago, Victor Martinez and Brad Penny had some words for one another while on the mound. They put that to bed the very next day. I don't expect that there will be any carryover whatsoever this afternoon for the two.
Here's the 2-0 offering. Driven high in the air toward left center field. Cruising over is Bosch. And 1 gone.
Take a look at Brad's overall numbers this year. They signed him to be the number 5 starter, and these numbers aren't bad for a number 5 starter. He's won 7. He's lost 8. The last few starts he's gone out there, I think Brad's been a little too strong. The fastball is straightened out at about 95 miles an hour. And earlier this year, he was throwing lots of ground balls because he had better movement with his 2-seamer at the bottom of the strike zone.
Here is Elvis Andrus. He's hit safely in 7 straight, including, of course, the first 2 in this series. And Penny starts him off with a fastball inside part of the plate. Strike 1. Andrus 2 out of 9 in the set. Batting .279. Want to keep him off the bases. 30 swipes this year. The 0-1 is inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Ron Washington told me a couple of days ago they really miss their talented third baseman Adrian Beltre, who is on the disabled list right now with a leg injury. He said that they really haven't played good baseball since he's gone on the DL.
Here's the 1-1. Well, I think he's one of those guys that affects both sides of the game, defensively and offensively.
And Ron even said in the clubhouse and the dugout, huge influence this year for Beltre on his ball club.
The Rangers are reeling a little bit, in part thanks to the Tigers. Texas has lost 3 straight, and their lead over the Angels is 1 in the West. It's fouled away.
I was down in Ron Washington's office today when the media was asking him questions, and the one question that everyone continued to ask Ron Washington had nothing to do with baseball but the weather in Texas, where it is brutal right now.
Over 100, I think, or around there.
They're trying to figure out how to keep his team somewhat fresh while playing in stifling heat.
It's got to be one of the challenges for anybody that manages in that town.
That's right.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Andrus. And he just missed. Penny thought he had strike 3. 3-2 on Andrus.
Penny can't believe the ball was called a strike, but it looks like it was a good call by Doug Eddings. That ball appeared to be off the plate.
Three-two pitch coming home. And he lost him. Ball 4. First walk of the ball game for Brad.
Believe it or not, this is the 15th time that Brad has taken the mound under sunshine this year. 22 starts total. 15 have been during the day for Brad.
Six and 5 in day games. His ERA is almost a point higher during the day. So we mentioned Andrews can run with his 30 stolen bases. He's aboard now. Brett Gardner has 33, Rajay Davis 33, and Coco Crisp 33. They lead the American League.
Well, Brad just needs to make sure he gives Victor a chance to throw.
That'll get fouled down the left field line. Josh Hamilton, the batter. 307 this year with 13 home runs.
That series I was talking about last year when Victor was behind the plate in a 3-game series against the Texas Rangers. The Rangers stole 17 bases. But the Boston Red Sox, they don't hold runners very well and did not give him, obviously, an opportunity to throw. But that's a lot of bases.
That's a ton. And there goes the runner. Fouled away. 0-2. Andrews back to first base.
Speed is one of the Texas Rangers' weapons, so there's no doubt with the fact that they're on the verge of possibly being swept here in a 3-game series against the Tigers, that they will be turning some guys loose.
That and the fact that the Rangers have stranded 14 men in the first 2 games.
I thought we were the only team that were stranding runners in this game.
You would think so, by the way some people talk, but no. The Rangers have left a boatload. Bouncing ball foul, first base side. 0-2 on Hamilton.
And the Rangers ranked 3rd in the American League in stolen bases, behind the Kansas City Royals, who the Tigers will see tomorrow, and the New York Yankees. The only 2 teams in the AL that have stolen more bases than the Rangers.
Hamilton in the series 3 for 9. Runner goes. Ball low. Throw down to second is not in time. And Andrews has his 31st stolen base of the year.
The Rangers will steal 3rd too, so don't go to sleep on Andrews if you're Carlos Guillen and Santiago, who has the challenge of keeping him close. Victor Martinez rushed his throw. Therefore, by rushing the throw, he simply bounced the ball, but a nice pick by Santiago. Tag applied, but too late.
Now you've got Hamilton up there trying to drive in a run. Just a little bit tardy. The 1-2. He had a rip. 1-2 the count stays on Josh Hamilton.
They have pretty much been able to keep Hamilton in check in the 2 games prior to today, and that's one of the reasons why they've been able to win the first 2 when you slow down the big boys. Although Napoli and Cruz have gotten loose.
And that's low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Don't think Andrews will be stealing 3rd here with last year's MVP standing in the batter's box, but he has stolen 3rd base 6 times this year. He is 6 for 6. And you check him out, checking out every single defender to make sure he knows where every single player is playing.
Comerica not typically known as a good hitter's ballpark, but Hamilton lifetime in this ballpark is at 354. He has felt at home here in Detroit. And he's about to see his 8th pitch in this at bat. Penny has had trouble putting him away. The reigning MVP in the American League, outdistancing Miguel Cabrera last year. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball missed away. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
I want you guys to take one more look at Andrews here, because he's doing exactly what the base running coaches instruct you to do. He's going to take a check here of where everybody's playing, the left fielder, the center fielder, the second baseman. And then when the ball is hit, because you know where everybody's playing, you can determine what's a hit, what you can score on, what you can advance on. Take a look at him. He wants to make sure he knows where everybody's at.
In the air toward left. On the charge, Bosch. It's going to drop. Base hit. Andrews will get to third base. And Hamilton has a bloop single, and the Rangers are in business now here in the first inning. It's going to bring up Michael Young.
Don't know if he was fooled on the swing or not, but obviously playing deep, respecting the power of Hamilton. Brennan Bosch comes in and looks like he's going to leave his feet, but then he thinks better of it. And Hamilton gets himself a soft single in the left field. Brad Penny's been outstanding at throwing lots of ground balls this year. He'll need another one right here, and he's got a tremendous double play candidate standing in the batter's box in Michael Young.
Bouncing ball left side, scooped up there by Benameat. There's one, there's 2. It's a 5-4-3, and Penny wiggles out of a first inning jam. Nice call. We go to the bottom of the first. No score. Tigers looking for the sweep of the Texas Rangers. And here's the Tigers starting lineup presented by Big Boy. A couple of changes today, especially at the top. Andy Dirks leads it off in center field. Then Kelly at first, Bosch in left. Cabrera, your DH, Martinez catching. Guillen, Benameat, Rayburn, and Santiago will round out the lineup as we check out the Bernstein Advantage. Brings you the scouting report on Alexi Ogando. Get the Bernstein Advantage. We go to bat for you.
He's got some electricity in that right arm. The fastball will get up to 97, sometimes 98 miles an hour. And you're talking about the ultimate conversion. Here's a guy that got his start in the A's organization as a position player. And then when he went to Texas, he was in the bullpen, now making an all-star team as a starter for the Texas Rangers, and he's won 10 games.
1 ball to no strikes on Andy Dirks, who leads it off, the center fielder for Detroit. Dirks, then Kelly, and then Bosch. Jackson struggling a bit with the bat of late, so Dirks getting the call here this afternoon against the right-hander Ogando, who is 27 years of age, out of San Pedro in the Dominican Republic. Three balls, no strikes.
Usually middle infielders are coming out of San Pedro de Macorís in the Dominican Republic. It has been a hotbed for middle infielders for a number of years.
There is a strike call. Well, this is actually San Pedro, so this is not San Pedro de Macorís. Two separate towns.
Is it?
Yeah. He is 6'4", 195. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and it's fouled back.
So they got two towns in Dominican called San Pedro.
San Pedro and San Pedro de Macorís.
Wow, I did not know that.
3-2. 4 for 12 on the homestand. For Andy Dirks, here's the 3-2 pitch. Fouled straight back. Andy at 306 in his last 13 games. Don Kelly waiting on deck. 3-2 again is fouled away. Back into the seats it goes.
Jim Leland has a lineup here today of pretty much all left-handed swingers. He's got 4 switch hitters. Cabrera will be the only one that will be swinging the bat right-handed today against Ogando. He dominates right-handers to the tune of a 178 batting average. Left-handers not a whole lot better.
And a strike call. Dirks is out of there. He had thrown his bat. He was 2 or 3 steps to first base.
Let's take a look at the Texas Rangers defensively. It's presented by Tim Hortons. In the outfield, it's Hamilton, it's Chavez, it's Cruz and Wright. In the infield, it's Blanco, Andrews, Kinsler, Moreland. Napoli, he's had a great series offensively. He's catching today.
Here is Don Kelly. Kelly batting in the 2 spot.
And the Dirks have a beef. Ooh, I guess he must have thought it was low.
Here's the 1-0. In the air, center field. Andy Chavez is there, and Kelly is out 2 away. He's going to bring up Brendan Bosch. Well, it was very cloudy, hazy, overcast when we got to the ballpark this morning. And a light mist around the ballpark as well, but the clouds are burning away now. Temperature continues to rise. It's 77 right now. Ball 1 to Bosch.
It seems like when the umpires said play ball, the sun just kind of stepped out.
The 1-0. Ground ball right side. Fair ball behind the bag. Moreland will feed Ogando. And the inning is over. Tigers go quickly against Alexi Ogando. Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Strength and stability since 1849. By Jeep brand, now celebrating 70 years of legendary heritage. And by Arby's, try the new Angus Cool Deli Sandwich only at Arby's. It's good mood food. Back here at Comerica Park, top of number 2. As the Tigers and Rangers are scoreless in this series finale. Alexi Ogando needed just 12 pitches to get through the bottom of the first, and now Penny back to the hill facing Cruz, Napoli, and then Moreland. Penny got a big double play ball from Michael Young with runners at first and third. That ended the Texas threat. Nelson Cruz leading it off. And he takes ball 1. Cruz 4 out of 9 in the series with a long ball. He's hit 24 home runs this year. The 1-0. Rod, you often talk about times where guys need to stay in the minor leagues a little bit, get some innings under their belt, get some at bats, a lot of at bats. Well, Nelson Cruz fits that, doesn't he?
Absolutely. Late bloomer. He had a lot of minor league at bats. That's one of the reasons why he's having success in the big leagues. And he's gotten an opportunity. Ron Washington continues to run Cruz out there every single day. Tremendous power.
Over 3,000 minor league at bats.
That's where you learn how to hit.
Here is Penny's 2-1 pitch. Checked it, and he went. Home plate umpire Doug Eddings did not need to look down at first. 2-2.
Real firm fastball by Brad at 95 miles an hour.
Cruz averages about a home run every 14 at bats. Here's the 2-2 offering. Bouncing ball up the middle, and that's into center field, out of the reach of Santiago. It's another hit for Cruz in the series. That's his 5th.
Give Cruz some credit. Victor Martinez, he set up off the plate outside, and Penny hit his glove basically. And basically Cruz just took what Brad was giving him. Well located fastball at the knees, mid-90s, base hit right back up the middle.
Foxmo showing just out of the reach of Santiago. Here's Mike Napoli, a 7-game hitting streak for the Texas catcher. Ball 1 from Penny.
And Napoli has homered in 2 straight games against Tigers pitching, and he's homered in 4 of his last 5 games on this road trip.
Five years with the Angels, and now wearing Rangers colors. He had a lot of home runs as an Angels catcher. In fact, 75 home runs wearing a halo uniform, which is the most of any catcher in Angels history.
The biggest difference this year in Napoli are the batting average numbers that he has posted this year with his new club. He's hitting .293.
Yeah, you saw his career average at .256, so that is quite a jump. He's ahead 2-0. 3 balls, no strikes.
And with those power numbers that I just told you about regarding Napoli on this current road trip, it is not a given that he is not swinging here. 3 balls and no strikes. So Brad needs to make sure that he locates his fastball in an area where Napoli can't do a lot of damage.
3-1. Well, this will help your average out. On their current road trip, hitting .450.
He's not getting any infield singles either.
No, he's not. Penny ready with the 3-1 pitch. Fouled back, 3-2. Tigers, with their win last night, are now 8 games over the 500 mark at 59 and 51. It is their highest ceiling, I suppose, they've reached so far this year. 8 games over is the best they've been.
Early decision time for Ron Washington here. 3-2 count. There is nobody out. Cruz has battled some leg injuries. He's on first base. And Napoli will swing and miss on occasion. We'll see what Ron Washington does with his base runner here.
Fouled back out of play. They had him on the move. Cruz was cruising. And he'll go back. Saw the standings a moment ago. The Tigers up 4 now on Cleveland, who are really finding it difficult now to win games. The Indians are back to 500, 54-54.
And they still have some very tough games coming up. They have to go to Texas.
They do.
When they leave Boston.
August is no fun, that's for sure, especially this time of the year when players start to get tired a little bit. They've got some tough games coming up. 3-2 pitch with the runner going again, bounced up the middle. They still might get 2. Well, it's dropped at second base by Guillen, and they'll get none.
Carlos should have gotten the 1 before he tried to get 2, and that's exactly what happened here. He tried to be too quick with the exchange by taking the ball with the bare hand. He did not make the play, and therefore they're in business. You have to get 1 before you can get 2.
So that'll open the door now for Texas, who has another opportunity here in the second. 2 on, nobody out. And here is Mitch Moreland. Hitless in this series to this point, 0 for 7. Penny gets another ground ball. Kelly, there's 1, and now they got a rundown. Keep an eye on Cruz at third. Tag is made. Here comes Cruz to the plate. Safe. Martinez unable to hold on to the baseball. They could have turned a triple play there. Unorthodox as it would have been. Cruz took a chance by coming home as soon as the rundown was in progress.
It's a nice job here by Kelly. He gets over. He gets the 1 out. Now he fires the ball down to second base. And then you have Napoli, who's caught in a rundown. They get the out there, and heads up, running with his head on a swivel was Don Kelly. Fires the ball home, and they should have had the out there as well. That was a perfectly executed rundown, and I'm going to show you in a little bit. Whenever we get time, we're going to show you a rundown a couple of days ago that the Tigers did not execute. It was in that game Sunday against the Los Angeles Angels. Going to show you the difference in why that rundown was good and why that one wasn't.
2 gone, a run in for Texas, and Andres Blanco the batter. One strike on Blanco, batting .219. Fouls one back out of play, make it 0-2.
Here's what I'm talking about, that rundown on Sunday. With Verlander on the mound, the ground ball back in the infield, and the runner took off from first. I believe it was Ibar. Now take a look at Avila here. Watch, he pumped with the arm 3 times. And when he is pumping, you can see Kelly, who was taking the throw. He's starting to converge toward the ball. He did the same thing to Verlander, and that's why the base runner was able to score there. In rundown situations, you're taught to run with the ball up and not to continue to pump, because if you continue to pump, you're going to fool that guy who's taking the throw from you. No pumping from Santiago. He just holds the ball and then he throws it. And that's how you do the rundown play.
Meanwhile, Martinez was given an error at the home plate on that play, allowing the run to score. Here's the 0-2. Fouled away again.
Yeah, that rundown play is very tricky. I mean, if you're pumping like Avila was pumping and Kelly's taking that throw, every time he pumps, as a receiver on the other end, you're going to start closing in, and every now and then that base runner just scoots by you, and that's what happened when Kelly threw it back to Verlander. Ibar was basically past JV when JV got the ball because he was getting fooled by the pumps with the arm.
And again, the 0-2. Ground ball to first base behind the bag. Kelly has it there. And the inning is over. They get a run, though. Leave the bases empty. We'll go to the bottom of the second. 1-0 Texas. today presented by the Quarter Pounder with Cheese. Using your cell phone, text Tigers followed by a space and the player's uniform number to 37338, or you can vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. Tigers down by a run now as we go to the bottom of the second. Alexi Ogando back to work. A 12-pitch first inning. He'll face Cabrera here in the second. And Miguel looks at strike one. The first inning, by the way, was the first time the Tigers have gone 1, 2, 3 in 10 innings in this series. Hasn't happened all that often. The offense has been clicking. There's a bouncer hit slowly back up the middle. Time for Andrews. One gone. Four up, four down against Ogando. We got Victor Martinez. Two out of six in the series for Victor. Ball one from Ogando. Ogando last year a key member of the Rangers bullpen. The final 4 months of the year he made 44 appearances out of the Rangers pen last year. It was awfully good. There's a base hit to right. Tigers have their first base runner of the game. 1 on, 1 out. Hey, by the way, this game is available in high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD, sponsored by Xfinity from Comcast.
Victor Martinez is just a hit machine. It's a fastball right down the middle. Real short, real quick, real compact swing by V-Mart.
Carlos Guillen.
What in the world are the Texas Rangers going to do this year with Ogando, who has already by far pitched more innings in his career than he ever has? This is his first year in the starting rotation, and they're in a pennant race. I don't know what they're going to do.
It's a concern. I don't know what they can do. I mean, you know, they may consider what the Tigers did with Porcello in the past and Verlander in the past, maybe skip a start in late August, September, but this guy's your best pitcher.
They did that with Ogando in July. He pitched on the 6th of July, and then he didn't come back and pitch until the 19th of July. So they used the All-Star break, the 4 days there, and sometime before the break, and they slotted him in the number 5 spot after the All-Star break. So they gave him 2 weeks there, but he is still approaching numbers that he's not seen before. I guess he is 27 years old, though. It's not like we're talking about a 20-year-old.
1 ball and 2 strikes. That is true. But it's awfully difficult right now to take this guy out of the rotation, even for 1 start.
Well, it's one of the reasons why they beefed up their bullpen. Ron Washington now, along with Mike Maddox, who we're getting a look at, they can play some 6-inning games with some guys because of the depth now that they have in the bullpen, and Ogando would be one of those guys.
1-2 the count stays as we check out some numbers. The lowest ERA by pitchers with at least 10 wins in the American League. Of course, Jared Weaver, we just saw him. And Verlander on that list. CC has 16 wins now. And a 2.5 ERA, and Ogando is on that list as well, along with Heron. The 1-2 is swung on and missed. Guillen is out of there.
97 with that fastball from Ogando.
2 outs.
Ogando also has a changeup, but does not throw very many changeups. He's pretty much fastball, slider, and on occasion his slider will act like a curveball.
Here's Wilson Betemit. Driven in the air down the right field line. It is going to hook, though, back into the seats. Good crowd here today. I love this crowd.
All series, really. All homestand. At Angels series. Packed house every game. It's a Thursday afternoon.
I know it. It's not like it's a Sunday. It's fouled away. 0-2 on Betamit. Wilson batting in the 7 slot in this game. Typically, Jim Leyland has had him 9th. And the 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's not going to take Betamit long to go see his former teammates, is it?
Nope.
Next road trip will be in KC tonight. Tigers jet out to Kansas City after this one here tonight. And he got him. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Ogando has 3 strikeouts. You're watching Tigers baseball this afternoon. It's presented by Bell Tire.
His first start as a Detroit Tiger last night. He stands 6 feet 8 inches, partner, but he was able to field his position flawlessly. Take a look at him sprawling out here, getting to his feet, making a play. He kept the ball off the barrel of the bat all night long. They were either getting jammed, they were hitting it off the end of the bat. He acquitted himself outstanding here last night in his debut as a Tiger. He did not walk a batter. He did not get a strikeout, but he got the W.
Didn't know he was that agile on the mound. He is good addition and made a good debut last night for Detroit. Hopefully that will continue. And he certainly helped the Tigers to a win last night. Brad Penny back to the hill as we go to the 3rd. It'll be Endy Chavez, Ian Kinsler, and Elvis Andrus. Rangers got a run in the 2nd. They lead 1-0. Chavez batting .311. And he looks at strike 1 from Brad Penny. Betamit is tied at 3rd base defensively on Chavez. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And make it 0-2 on Endy. The well-traveled Endy Chavez. KC, Montreal, Washington, Philly, among other teams. New York Mets. And the 0-2. Little chopper right back to the mound. Easy play there for Brad Penny. 1 gone. Back to the studio we go. Time for a game break in Mickey York. Mickey, thank you. Of course, the American League East is being controlled right now by both Boston and New York. Tampa Bay was able to hang around for a while, but they came in 11 out in the East. Here's Kinsler. And Ian Kinsler right now is really going through it, Rod. 1 for his last 31.
It's a dead pull hitter. Ian Kinsler, whenever he decides to start utilizing right field a little bit more effectively, his batting average will go up about 50 points. He has tremendous power and really good hand-eye coordination.
High fly ball, left center field. Both Dirks and Bosch, and Dirks makes the catch.
But Kinsler's just way too pull happy.
So they'll make him one for his last 32.
Well, we told you Brad Penny has started to get stronger with each start he has made this year after missing the majority of the season last year with an injury. He has touched 97 here today.
Wow. Has he done that this year?
He is pitching like a young Brad Penny. I can't remember him getting that high with his velocity this year.
Here's Andrews. Showing bunt. Elvis unable to lay down a sacrifice, which turned out to be a key play in game one in this series, a game the Tigers go on to win by a run. And Andrews has been really good at sacrificing 13, as a matter of fact. A 1-0 pitch. And Ron Washington said after the game when he came back to the dugout he could see how frustrated Elvis was that he did not even say a word to him. Everybody was kind of upset he wasn't able to get it down, but no more upset than Elvis was with himself.
The Rangers really have not played good baseball the last couple of days here. They've had lots of miscues on the defensive end, and their clutch hitting hasn't been very good either. And the Tigers have somewhat taken advantage of it.
Well, really, when you look at it, the Rangers have had two separate times this season where they were really going well. At the start of the year when they started 9-1, and then recently when they had that 12-game winning streak. But aside from that, they've been a little bit inconsistent. And because of that, they've not been able to pull away from the Angels. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And he just missed, and Penny with a long look at Doug Eddings. Where was that, he says.
He really has good location with that fastball away from his arm side, and Foxtrack said that was a strike.
Instead, it's 2-2. Slice to right center field. It's going to drop. Base hit right in front of Ryan Rayburn. It's a 2-out single for Elvis Andrews.
He goes from strike 3 to a possible double here because Andrews will not stay on first base very long. He was already stolen one base in this game. That was his 31st of this season.
So Victor Martinez will be on high alert here. Hamilton stepping in. He skies the first pitch into center field.
Thank you very much.
Dirks is there, and the inning is over. No runs, one hit, one left. 2.5 in the books here at Comerica today.
Bears on Monday night in the Super Bowl championship.
Hey fans, our new edition of Tigers Weekly provides current examples as to why baseball lives on as America's pastime and nowhere more than Detroit. It's a look at the game we love as passed on through generations of Tigers players and fans. Tigers Weekly premieres tomorrow at 7 p.m. here on Fox Sports Detroit.
So as we head to the bottom of the third now, the Tigers coming to the plate against Alexi Ogando, and the first pitch to Ryan Rayburn misses 1-0. Rayburn to be followed by Santiago and then Andy Dirks. Ogando has struck out 3 already in this game, including Guillen and Betemit back in the second. Rayburn is perking up offensively, 3 for 4 in the series and hitting .318 over his last 22 games. The 1-1.
Ryan Rayburn hit a big home run last night. It turned out to be the difference in the game. It gave the Tigers a 2-run spread. Valverde gave one of those back to Napoli in the 9th inning, but the Tigers still went on to win the game.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. 4 strikeouts for Ogando.
Ogando has already seen the Tigers a couple of times this year, and he's beaten them on both occasions. They really have not been able to figure Alexi out. He's got that power fastball anywhere from 94 to 97, and a couple of different breaking balls. Very few changeups does Ogando throw.
2-0 career against Detroit with a 1.06 ERA. Some of those obviously relief appearances. Strike 1 on Santiago. Ramon has faced Ogando 4 times, and he has had 2 hits against him, 2 out of 4. 1-1. Ogando's got to feel like, man, this is all happening so quick. He had not played above the Dominican Summer League until last season, when he was in the minors with the Texas Rangers, came up, pitched out of their bullpen, and now he's turned into an ace of the staff. There's a base hit. Well, Santiago continues to hit Ogando pretty well.
Yeah, he ought to be in the Dominican Summer League Hall of Fame.
He pitched there quite a while, didn't he?
About 5 years. Had some visa problems and could not get a visa to come to the United States. Finally was able to get one. He came stateside last year. He started the season in the minor leagues for the Rangers, came to the big leagues as a reliever, and the rest, as they say, is history.
You think there is a Dominican Summer League Hall of Fame?
If there is, he ought to be in it.
He's the president. Popped up and back into the seat, 0-1.
They say that while he was waiting to get a visa to come stateside, he was just dominating those young kids in Dominican Republic.
Oh, can you imagine it?
I mean, this stuff.
Originally, the A's organization is an outfielder, and then selected in the Rule 5 draft by the Texas Rangers. One of their folks saw him on a backfield one day and said, that kid's got a pretty good arm. Maybe we could make him a pitcher.
It's great scouting.
Yeah, they drafted him and they turned him into a pitcher. One ball, one strike. Dirks a strikeout victim back in the first. Tigers have the tying run on in a 1-0 game. We're in the bottom of the third. Fouled away again, 1-2 on Dirks.
Napoli has caught 36%. It's a pretty good number. It's a low number, too.
Here's a guy that's not supposed to hit for average or throw guys out, and he's doing both. 2-2 on Dirks. Off the plate, 3-2.
You have to really give the Texas Rangers a lot of credit for kind of thinking out the box with a couple of their starting pitchers. C.J. Wilson a couple of years ago was pitching out of the bullpen for them. They thought he could start. They put him in the rotation. He's been very successful in the last couple of years. And Ogando has made the transition smoothly as himself.
And of course, their staff last year was anchored by Cliff Lee after they picked him up in a trade. Lee has since moved on, did not re-sign with Texas. And the question is, can their staff, which for the most part has been a big part of their success this year, continue it through the months of August and September when the innings start to pile up? Runner goes, and it's grounded foul. So Dirks has made Ogando work. He had an 8-pitch first at bat. This will be the 7th coming up in this AB. Skipper has his team rolling right now. They come in 8 games over 500. Trying to get a win here today as they embark on the road trip coming up through 3 cities.
If you're Santiago and you're running on this 3-2 pitch, you have to treat it like a steal. You have to get the best jump possible just in case Dirk strikes out.
Line to left and caught by Hamilton.
Hey fans, see the Tigers battle the division rival Minnesota Twins in a 3-game series August 15th through 17th. All 3 games begin at 7:05. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
Now Don Kelly. Kelly takes ball 1. Don fly to center field back at the first. And a ground ball to short. Andrews has it there. He'll flip to Kinsler, covering at second base, side retired. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. 3 in the books. TNT. 5-hour energy fixes tired fast. 1 shot back to work. Problem solved. And by new Nestle Skinny Cow Candy. Have your candy and eat it too. On this beautiful day here in the Motor City, we've got a birthday wish to pass along here this afternoon. The Tigers leading at 1-0. And how about this, Rod? Larry Warrington is a longtime Tigers and Red Wings fan. He turns 100 today.
Really?
100.
Larry, what's the secret, buddy?
Pass it along, please. So congratulations to Larry Warrington. We appreciate you watching and being a great Tigers fan. Happy birthday. Michael Young is leading it off as we go to the 4th inning. It'll be Young and then Cruz and then Napoli. 1 run, 3 hits for the Rangers. Tigers no runs, 2 hits. Penny's first pitch is a strike on Michael Young. Young, for the most part, hadn't done a whole lot in this series either. He hit into a double play back in the 1st inning. He's 2 for 9.
He also hit into a big double play yesterday against Pfister.
1 ball, 1 strike. Pfister got a couple of double plays in that game last evening. Here's the 1-1 ground ball, base hit. Here's the Michael Young we know, a single to right field.
Yeah, he's made a lot of money doing that.
That'll bring up Nelson Cruz. Adrian Gonzalez continues to have a really strong year for the Red Sox, leading the league in hitting, then Young. And Victor's in the top 5. Casey Kochman on that list. He's kind of a surprise, isn't he?
He is. He's had a nice year.
Cruz looks at strike 1. Rangers now have 4 hits. One ball, 1 strike. Earlier this year, Nelson Cruz had a 6 RBI game that came against the Florida Marlins in the month of July, and he's driven in 72 for the year. Keeping him healthy and keeping him in their lineup critical for Texas and their run. That's low. 2 balls, 1 strike. Tigers, for the most part, have handled Texas this year. They have won 6 of 8 between the 2 teams.
Offensively, they have worn out a really good pitching staff. Tigers' offensive numbers better than any team this year against Rangers pitching.
Bouncing ball up the middle and into center field. Out of the reach of Santiago. Base hit for Nelson Cruz, his 2nd of the game. So the Rangers again have something going here. Penny to this point has been able to stop the big inning, though.
It's also Nelson Cruz's 2nd knock, right back up the middle.
Here is Mike Napoli. Right back up the middle into center field. Young coming to 3rd. They'll send him home. He'll come around to score, and Napoli with an RBI single to make it 2-0 Texas. 3 straight hits greeting Brad Penny here in the 4th.
The Napoli first pitch swinging. You could see that Victor was set up off the plate, and the fastball kind of 2-seam variety leaked right back over the heart of the plate. Victor reached back for it, and a lot of times when you see the catcher reach back over the middle of the plate, the result's not a good one for the pitcher.
Napoli has his 43rd RBI of the year. 6 Texas hits now. That'll bring up Mitch Moreland.
And Brad Penny 11 of 16 in first pitch strikes here today, and the majority of those strikes on fastballs. He might want to start mixing in a few off-speed pitches.
0-1 on Moreland. Brad coming off that start against the Angels in which he allowed 7 runs in 3 1/3. But before that, he had been fairly consistent, giving up 2, 3, 4 runs at the most in any of his starts. The 0-1 in the air, shallow left. Bosch coming on again, still coming, and it's going to drop. Everybody is safe. The wind may have done something with that ball. Bosch kept coming hard, and he just couldn't quite get there.
It's the second bloop hit by a left-handed batter today into shallow left field. When it first went up, I thought that either Santiago or Bosch or someone would catch it.
Got the wind blowing in from left this afternoon. And that's going to be 7 hits now for Texas. Jeff Jones makes his way out to the mound. And still nobody out in this inning. Singles by Young, Cruz, Napoli, and now Moreland. And Penny does have one thing going for him now. He's facing the bottom of the lineup. Andres Blanco stepping in. A .215 hitter. Ball 1. Blanco bounced out back in the first inning, or the second inning rather, ending that frame. He's 0 for 1. Just recently came off the disabled list. 2-0. Ground ball right side. Kelly will come home with it. There's one. They get the force. 1 away. That's a start.
It's a good play by Don Kelly, taking his time, making sure to get the 1 out, and a wise decision by Victor, not trying to force the issue by throwing that ball down toward first base, where Carlos Guillen wasn't quite at the bag yet. And if you're Tigers here, you have to be at least thinking about a squeeze play. First pitch might be a fastball up in the strike zone, just to make it tough on Chavez to do so if he's thinking about doing that.
Instead, he flies one to center field, driving Dirks back. This will get the run in. A sac fly and an RBI for Endy Chavez. It is 3-0 Texas. It's his 19th RBI of the year. Nelson Cruz scores on the play. Two gone now for Ian Kinsler. I think that Napoli who scored, not Cruz. There's a strike call. The force play at the plate was Nelson Cruz. Kinsler meanwhile continues his scuffles, a couple of fly balls, and so he's 1 for his last 32. Here's the 0-1. Kinsler this year has hit 16 home runs, including 2 home runs in one game against Felix Hernandez, and not too many have done that. He got King Felix twice in one game. Driven to center field, sinking. Dirks will back off, play it on a hop. They'll try and score another run, and they will. It's an RBI hit for Ian Kinsler. And now it's 4-0 in favor of Texas.
Brad Prenny a little frustrated today with the strike and ball calling of Doug Eddings. The first pitch that he threw to Kinsler was a ball that looked like it was a strike. It was on the outer edges. And so if you're Brad Penney, now you got to come a little bit closer, and then that allows a guy like Kinsler, who's been struggling, to get himself a base hit. Brad not getting that call on the outside part of home plate today.
Gene Lamont gets on the phone, and the Tigers bullpen will start to scurry a little bit. Here's Elvis Andrus. In the air, shallow right field. Ryan Rayburn coming on toward the line to make the catch, inning over. They send 8 men to the plate and score 3 times. It's now 4-0 Texas.
You know, I haven't really figured him out yet, and hopefully tomorrow I will. But he's a pitcher that you can't give an inch to, because he's just got 4 quality pitches that he can throw at any time. So I'll be locked in and trying to do my best.
Well, it's probably a long list of guys that haven't figured out Alexi Ogando just yet. Brennan Bosch will lead things off here in the bottom of the 4th, trying to get something going now. The Tigers down 4-0. And Ogando brings it home, and it's fouled straight back. Bosch, a bounce out his first time up. He'll be followed by Cabrera, then Martinez. 3, 4, and 5 facing Ogando. Look out, back to the dugout it goes. 0-2. 0 for 8 with a strikeout now against Alexi. Here's the 0-2 pitch. He tried to hold up, didn't look like he did, though. He did not. John Tumpane down at third base, calls him out. 5 strikeouts for Ogando.
It's a good call by Mr. Tumpane down at third. Brennan did go too far.
He's had at least 1 strikeout in each of the first 4 frames as Cabrera stands in. 0-1. Miguel came in 4 for 6 against Ogando. Swing and a miss again. No balls, 2 strikes.
Wow, a couple of back-to-back 97-mile-per-hour fastballs by Ogando to the big fella.
Swing and a miss, and he blows away Cabrera.
Yeah, he did.
6 strikeouts.
Tigers are going to have better at-bats. The at-bat by Brennan was not a good at-bat. That was not a good at-bat by Cabrera. If they're going to chip away at this lead the Rangers have, the plate appearances have to be a little bit more consistent today. But then again, they are going up against one of the better pitchers in the American League this year.
97 right at the letters, and Cabrera swings through it. 2 gone for Victor Martinez. Victor got him for a base hit back in the second. Here's the 0-1. 1-1 on Martinez. Victor walked intentionally twice in the ball game last night. He's getting Cabrera treatment in that game. The 1-1 pitch. It's in there. Strike call.
Changeup. He doesn't throw many of those. Every now and then he will throw a good one. And that was a pretty good one at 85 miles an hour.
Martinez would not chase. 2-2.
The key to having a good changeup is that if you have a pitcher throwing 97 miles an hour, as Ogando can do, when they throw you the changeup, the arm speed has to be identical to the same arm speed he showed you on the fastball. If not, really good hitters can start to pick up the slow deceleration in the arm speed, and they could pick up that pitch.
2 balls, 2 strikes. That's fouled away. Well, that changeup is a funny pitch because some guys can throw it quickly, master it, and have it become a big part of their arsenal in the big leagues, while others, and we saw Jeremy Bonderman struggle with it for years trying to master that pitch.
He sure did. And had Jeremy not had that tremendous slider that he had, he would not have had the success that he enjoyed in the big leagues.
Inside, almost hit him.
Very few starters can get away with just 2 pitches. Very few.
Full count on Martinez. On deck, Carlos Guillen. We're in the 4th. 4-0 Texas in the lead. And grounded foul right by Tom Brookins.
He threw another changeup at 81, and you can see that he really decelerated his arm speed. Take a look here. I mean, you can just kind of see how he slows it down. And good hitters can pick that up.
This is the 9th pitch coming up in this at bat to Martinez. And he fouls another one back out of play. So after a couple of quick strikeouts, one of Bosch, one of Cabrera, Martinez battling here. Tigers have had only 2 hits so far today, and both have been singles, Santiago and Martinez. And a line drive to left. How about that at bat for Victor?
What a hitter. What a hitter.
He's 2 for 2 now. And brings up Guillen. Carlos struck out back in the second. Third Tigers hit of the game.
Well, more than likely, Carlos is going to get that fastball on this next pitch from Ogando. He's got a 4-run lead, and he's not afraid to challenge hitters with his fastball.
Popped up. Third base side, heading back to the seats, though, and on top of the dugout roof. Nice play into Karam. One and one on Guillen. Ogando is coming off a month of July in which he was 3-2 with a 2.91 ERA.
He's lost his last 2 starts.
Another one gets back out of play. Foul. Losses against Toronto twice. Didn't pitch badly in either game. He gave up 3 runs in both of those starts. And there's another pop-up back out of play. If anything, now the Tigers driving that pitch count up for Ogando here, who had a lengthy battle with Martinez. Carlos waiting on a 1-2 offering. How about another foul? Tigers handing out some souvenirs in this inning. And another foul back out of play. Got to be a little bit of frustration setting in now for Ogando.
Well, the Tigers are doing exactly as they set out to do at the beginning of the game, and that's to get that pitch count up of Ogando, get him out of the game as soon as you can, and then get into that Rangers bullpen. And their bullpen was bolstered at the trade deadline, but their overall numbers this year, bullpen-wise, aren't as good as their starters.
Swing and a miss, and Ogando finally takes care of him with 97 gas up there in the strike zone. Strikes out the side. He has 7 of them now.
Professional is professional. You know, he's like a Jeter. You know, he goes about his business, does what he's got to do on the field, you know, vocally in the clubhouse when it needs to be. So just somebody you enjoy playing with and coming to the park and seeing every day.
Josh Hamilton talking about his teammate Michael Young, and if the Rangers are going to go back to the playoffs this year, those two are certainly going to have to carry a good portion of the load down the stretch.
I know Hamilton was very vocal in the offseason when John Daniels, the general manager, and Michael Young weren't seeing eye to eye, and there were some trade talks regarding Michael Young. Hamilton simply said he's the glue to our team. We need him if we're going to get back to the World Series.
And he's had a terrific year, has Michael Young.
Better offensively than anybody they have.
Hamilton hits this a ton to center field. Dirk's going back to the warning track to pull it in.
Home run in most ballparks, Josh, but not here at Yellowstone.
1 out here in the 5th inning. And that'll bring up Michael Young, who bounced into a double play back in the 1st, singled and scored in the 4th inning.
Last half inning, the Texas Rangers hitters have been doing a lot of swing on the first pitches from Brad Penny.
There's strike 1.
And there's a reason why Michael Young is hitting .335. He's not afraid to take a strike.
It was his single that started that big inning, the 3-run 4th for Texas. They lead right now 4-0.
And the more pitches you see in any at bat, your chances increase greatly at getting something that you can handle. The one thing I have noticed about this game, working with Victor today, that Brad has thrown very few pitches inside. Just about everything that he has thrown today has been away from the Texas Rangers batters. He has not gone inside.
Two and one on Young. Young this year has had 18 games in which he's had 3 hits or more. And his average is way up there this year. All-time leader in at bats and hits and runs scored for the Rangers. Drives this one to center as well. Dirks will go back just about to the warning track for this one. 2 gone. And that'll bring up Nelson Cruz. Penny looking for a snappy inning after 8 men came to the plate in the 4th. Cruz has a couple of hits, both up the middle. He has also scored a run. Ball 1 on Cruz. Six for 11 in the series for Nelson. Also has a homer. Here's the 1-0. High, 2 balls, no strikes. Three and 0. Penny walked a man in the 1st inning and has not walked anybody since. There's the strike. 3-1. If Cruz is able to reach, Mike Napoli waiting on deck.
Can you remember a catcher that sets up off the plate as much as Victor Martinez does with his entire body?
Not really. Yeah, he scoots out there, doesn't he?
Look at him.
And that one is ball 4. So another walk now for Penny. That's his 2nd.
Hey fans, when the game ends, we've got you covered. Coverage continues with Tigers Live as we bring you all the highlights, reaction, and analysis. Tigers Live from the Call Sam Studios and here at the ballpark immediately after the game on Fox Sports Detroit. And you know who's in the Call Sam studios.
Mickey York.
You got that right.
He's back there today, and he's getting ready to fill you all in at the end of this one.
Probably got his feet kicked up on a chair, shoes off.
A little drink with an umbrella in it, maybe?
You already know.
Napoli singled in a run back in the fourth. Tigers have given up 8 hits in this game. Rangers 4 runs, 8 hits. Tigers no runs, 3 hits. In the air, right field. Straight at Ryan Rayburn. And that is that for Texas. In the fifth, no runs, a walk, and 1 left. And you're watching Tigers baseball today, presented by Bell Tire. Of AT&T, can you name the 5 Tigers with 30 or more saves in a season? There have been 5 different Tigers to do it. Name them. A couple should come to you very quickly. Jose Valverde this season is on pace, projected to have 44 saves. And here are the projected numbers overall for Papa Grande. Assuming, of course, his teammates give him opportunities to save games. Wilson Benavides pounds the first pitch into the ground for out number 1.
That was a nice shot there of Papa Grande doing his slide step.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, it was.
The electric slide?
It was.
Here's Ryan Rayburn. Rayburn struck out back in the 3rd. Ogando today has struck out 7. His career high is 8, and he did that earlier this year against Florida.
Well, he's pitching like an ace today. And he's looking like a guy that refuses to allow his team to get swept here.
First pitch in for a strike as Rayburn shows bunt.
It's a good idea.
Here's the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Ogando will throw you that slow breaking ball at about 81 miles an hour. He also has one with a little tighter spin on the rotation. That one's about 84, 85. Two and one on Ryan.
For as difficult as it is to pitch in Texas home ballpark, Ogando has had some good numbers at home this year. That's popped up right side of the infield. Kinsler, and there are 2 gone.
Right now, Tigers aren't getting really any good swings against Alexi.
Ogando's home ERA this year is 2.69. He's 7-2 in that launching pad. And on the road, pretty good as well, 3.13. Here's Santiago with 2 away. Tigers today have been limited to 3 singles, 2 of them by Victor Martinez. Strike 1 on Ramon. Make it 0-2. Santiago's been a tough out for Ogando. 3 for 5 against him career. Here's the 0-2. Popped him up. Who wants it? Napoli waiting at home plate, ending the inning. A 1-2-3 frame for Alexi Ogando. Name the 5 Tigers with 30 or more saves in a season. How many did you get? Well, here's the answer. You got Todd Jones, who's done it 5 times. Willie Hernandez did it twice. John Hiller back in '73. Don't forget about Fernando Rodney back in '09. And, of course, Papa Grande this year. He turned that trick last night with his 30th consecutive save. Franchise record is 42, Todd Jones.
Oh, Ratso. It's John Hiller's nickname. Hanging out in the UP.
Is that where he is these days?
Yeah.
UP, that's beautiful country up there. Mitch Moreland leads it off. And then Andres Blanco and Andy Chavez, the bottom 3 hitters facing Brad Penny as we go to the 6th. Swing and a miss. 4 runs on 8 hits for the visiting Rangers. Tigers no runs, 3 hits. Fouled back out of play, 0-2. Tigers on their way to Kansas City, where they're going to see a couple of lefties in that series against the Royals, Danny Duffy and Bruce Chen. Tomorrow night, though, in Game 1, it's Porcello and Felipe Paulino. Tigers taking on some of their teams within their division. They'll have the Indians after KC. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Driven in the air well toward left center field. Bosch. He'll run it down, 1 away. When you think about it, Rob, the Tigers have a chance over the next week or so to really distance themselves from Cleveland.
Yes, they do. And they just need to go into Kansas City and play with the same kind of sense of urgency they played with this entire homestand. And then they've got a big series with the Cleveland Indians and then Baltimore Orioles. How about the Cleveland Indians? They're playing a series right now against Boston, which is the first place club. They leave Boston, go to Texas, another first place club. Then they got the Tigers coming to town.
Right.
Tough first place club.
We'll see what they're made of. Right now, the Tigers 4 up on Cleveland. Blanco, the batter. Oh, 2.
Ubaldo Jimenez, their newest pitcher, will pitch against the Texas Rangers when the Rangers get home on Friday, but he'll be going up against a really good left-hander in Derek Holland. That young kid can pitch.
And the 0-2 pitch. Fouled away. Little looper back to third, caught there by Bedamit, and there are 2 gone. And before Chavez steps in, we go back to the studio. Time for a game break with Mickey York. All right, Mick, thank you.
Bautista has been slowed down a little bit, but the pace that he was on at the beginning of the season was going to be impossible for him to keep up, especially the home run totals.
Well, I would imagine the pace he's on is still going to be in the 40s, which is still a very strong season, but not certainly what he was on early in the year.
You know, we were talking before the game at the outstanding year Curtis Granderson has already had. He is 2 runs shy of 100 runs scored.
Well, he'll certainly get some MVP votes.
And it's the beginning of August.
Right. Mark Teixeira is second in the league in home runs behind Bautista, and Granderson is third. One and one on Endy Chavez. He is the only Ranger that has not reached base in this game today. Everybody else has, wearing a Texas uniform. What's going on down there?
That's why Ron Washington loves Adrian Beltre. He said he just keeps things loose in the dugout.
The 1-2. Sliced back up the middle and into center field. Base hit. So Chavez is on now with 2 outs. It's going to be the 9th hit of the afternoon for the Texas Rangers. It's going to bring up Ian Kinsler. Singled in a run and that 3-run 4th.
We might see a pitch out here from Jim on the first or second pitch, knowing that Chavez is going to try to steal his 7th base of the year. He's leaning too. And a lot of times if Jim picked up the fact that Chavez was leaning there, that's when they'll call the pitch out.
In your opinion, are pitch outs more gut feeling oriented? Are they predicated by the count, do you think? Combination
of knowing the opposing team, because your scouts have scouted them. You know who the runners are, and kind of the game as well.
Because there probably is not a better feeling for a manager when he calls a pitch out. The runner is going and they get him by 2 or 3 feet.
No doubt. But the key here with Brad, if they do pitch out, he has to somewhat make sure he gets the ball to home plate in a timely manner. We've seen some guys that are kind of deliberate on the mound, and Brad's kind of deliberate. Whereas even on a pitch out, they'll be too slow, and that base runner will steal the base successfully.
Penny slipped on that last pickoff throw. He lost his footing a little bit. Now Martinez is about ready to walk out to the mound and see if he's all right. Brad said, "I'm okay." Here it is. The back foot. Two 2-0 on Kinsler.
Now you have a situation where Penny, and he needs to do so, is keeping a very close eye on Chavez at first base. Now he is falling behind Ian Kinsler.
And even farther behind now, 3-0. There's a strike, 3-1. All 9 of the Texas hits today have been singles. But they put enough together to get 3 runs in the 4th inning, extending their lead to 4-0. Tigers really haven't threatened a whole lot against Alexi Ogando through 5 innings in this game. There's the strike called, 3-2. Penny reaching back at 95 on that last pitch. Runner goes, and it's skied in the air to center field, shallow. Dirks coming in, and that will end the inning. No runs, a hit, 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning.
Time for the Coors Light freeze cam. Tigers have had a couple of opportunities to turn double plays in this game. One they didn't turn, but they did turn one. It was a 3 unassisted. He got the ball to Santiago, perfectly executed run down. They got the out of Napoli, and then Kelly alertly threw the ball home. They almost had a triple play, but the ball was dropped, and Cruz was able to score.
That close to a triple play, didn't quite pull it off though. And as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, Tigers have the top of the lineup coming up. Good time to get something going here against Ogando. It's 4-0 Texas. Andy Dirks leads it off, then Don Kelly and Brennan Bosch. Andy today is 0 for 2, strikeout and a flyout. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. 75th pitch thrown by Ogando.
His pitch count is in outstanding shape.
Line to left, base hit. Dirks goes the other way. Well, you can celebrate Fiesta Tigres on Saturday, August 20th when the Tigers host the Cleveland Indians. It's 7:05 game. Pre-game festivities includes live music and dancing, and the first 10,000 fans receive a ¿Quién es su Tigre playing cards. You know what that means?
I sure do not.
Who's your Tiger?
Oh.
¿Quién es su Tigre? For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER.
Look at you rolling your R's.
It's called trilling them.
And dropping some Spanglish in there, too.
Absolutely. Strike one on Don Kelly. It's Kelly who is 0 for 2 after a leadoff single by Andy Dirks. Tigers have their 4th hit of this game. Runner goes, and it's lined back up the middle on a couple of hops. There's one, and the relay to first. There's 2. Meanwhile, Ogando's on his knees. Big double play for Alexi Ogando.
With Dirks on the move, Kelly hit right into the teeth of the defense. Andrews, the shortstop, was going over to cover the bag. Ground ball hit directly at him, and he was able to glove it, touch the bag, and complete the double play.
Here's Bosch. Oh for 2 for Brennan. It's been that kind of day for Ogando. Even when the ball is hit hard, it's hit right at somebody covering the bag, and they start a twin killing. There's a bouncer hit to the right side. Diving stop. Kinsler from his knees throws him out. Actually got to his feet. And that's that. So a couple of nice defensive plays here in the 6th inning for Texas. As we go to the 7th, Kinsler flying through the air. Period. Bell Tire and by Jeep brand, now celebrating 70 years of legendary heritage. Back here at Comerica Park, where the Tigers are trailing here this afternoon by a score of 4-0. 4 runs, 9 hits for Texas. No runs, 4 hits for Detroit. Rangers trying to avoid the sweep. Maybe the aura of Al Kaline reaching for a fly ball can help them out the rest of the way here. Mr. Kaline immortalized along with the rest of the Tiger statues. Elvis Andrus leads it off, then Josh Hamilton and Michael Young. Walk and a single and a steal for Andrus. One ball, one strike. 97th pitch for Brad Penny. Ogando, meanwhile, through 6 innings, has thrown 80. There's the 1-1. Bender is in for a strike. 1-2 on Andrews.
Penny much more of a fly ball pitcher here today, and the reason for that is the fastball that he's featuring this afternoon have all been right around 94 to 97 miles an hour. Earlier in the year, when Brad was getting tons of ground balls, he had a really good two-seam fastball and kept it at the bottom of the strike zone.
And the 1-2. Chopper to the shortstop, Santiago. Quickly comes over to get it. One gone. They'll bring up Josh Hamilton. Hamilton's numbers during day games have not been very good this year. And it was learned that Hamilton, believe it or not, because he has blue eyes, apparently those that have blue eyes are much more susceptible to glare during the daytime.
Really?
Yeah, and they kind of figured that out. They've been working on some things, but Hamilton's numbers during the day, I mean, there was a time where he just couldn't get a hit during day games. A little bit of a stretch where he really struggled during the day to try and see the baseball, and these numbers kind of indicate that.
You would think that he would be wearing some glasses or something to maybe help him out a little bit, like some of the other players do during the daylight.
Well, he's tried a lot of different things. He's tried some different glasses. He's tried to keep his eyes lubricated with drops. There's a base hit as he bleeds one through the right side of the infield. That's his second hit today, so those daytime numbers starting to climb a little bit. And now Michael Young. Young, a single and a run scored. That was back in the 4th. Give the Rangers now an even 10 hits, and all of them singles. One and 0 on Young. .104 pitches this afternoon for Brad Penny. Fly ball right field, slicing away to the corner for Rayburn. Still going, can't get it up against 330 in the wall. Rayburn was backpedaling. Now he chases the ball down, and a run will score. All the way to third base goes Michael Young, and it's 5-0. Rayburn think that ball went over the wall?
Not quite sure what he thought, but once the ball bounced up against the wall, he crashed into the wall, and then he wasn't able to find it initially, looking up to see if it bounced over. Then he had to pick up the ball, and by that time Dave Anderson, the third base coach, was holding up Michael Young, who hit the ball, who had entertained thoughts of possibly an inside the park home run.
Infield coming in now as Nelson Cruz steps in. So as it stands, triple and an RBI. Here's Rayburn again hitting the wall. Just couldn't locate it. Little number off the end of the bat. The runner will hold at third base. And there are 2 gone. Napoli is 1 for 3. Singled one in back in the 4th inning. 5 runs on 11 hits for the Rangers, and that triple by Young is the team's first extra base hit. Ball 1 inside.
That is now the 5th triple of the season for Michael Young. He leads their team in that offensive category and many others.
Dwayne Below in the Detroit bullpen. Granderson, I think, is still leading the league. He has 9 triples. The 2-0. Napoli had a rip.
Michael Young holds a lot of Texas Rangers records. 51 triples as well. Leads their franchise.
On his way to another 200 hit season, it appears. And the 2-1. 3 balls, 1 strike on Mike Napoli. ...110 pitches into this game for Brad Penny. Rangers got 1 in the 2nd, 3 in the 4th, and 1 more here in the 7th. They lead 5-0. And Napoli gets himself a walk.
It is fascinating to me that this Rangers team has the kind of power that they have, but yet they don't strike out at all. Brad Penny, as hard as he's throwing today, 111 pitches, has not struck out a batter.
He's pretty amazing. He struck out only 3 times in this series. Wellside Windows pitching change. Brad Penny will depart, and we'll be back.
An app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at BAT to 31826 or visit Tigers.com for more details. Oh, they teach them how to text young.
Yes, they do.
Look at her working them fingers.
She's quick, too.
Yeah, she is.
It's a different world. Dwayne Below is the new pitcher now for the Detroit Tigers.
It's been quite a while since Dwayne Below has been on the mound for the Tigers. His last outing was a start in Chicago on the 25th of July. He was scheduled to get the ball last Saturday, but the Tigers gave the ball to Jacob Turner instead of giving Belo that start that afternoon.
Mitch Moreland looks at ball one.
We kind of left here on Friday night thinking that Dwayne Belo was going to make the start on that Saturday, and lo and behold, here comes Jacob Turner out of nowhere.
Yeah, we woke up the next morning and he was making his big league debut and really did well against the Angels. That's in the air. Foul ground, third base side. Betemit, and that'll end the inning. They get a run though. Leave a couple of men. Let's stretch. We go to the bottom of the seventh. Here is our Comerica game summary this afternoon from Comerica Park. Alexi Ogando has been the big story for Texas. 3 starts against the Tigers and a 0.44 ERA so far. Rangers, all 9 batters have reached base. And the Tigers in this series, 24 hits in the first 2 games. Today it's been a much different story. Only 4 hits so far as Cabrera leads it off against Ogando.
Every pitch he had thrown Cabrera up until that 79-mile-per-hour breaking ball have been fastballs. And Cabrera was simply looking for a heater on that first pitch and still swung at that breaking ball, and he fouled it straight back.
Grounded foul, third base side, 0-2. Ogando helped out by a double play ball in the 6th.
Not a lot of comfortable at-bats this afternoon by Tigers hitters against the Texas ace, Alexi Ogando.
Fouled away. 7 strikeouts as well for Ogando. Way outside, 1-2 the count. 5 runs, 11 hits for the Rangers. Tigers, no runs, 4 hits, and 1 error today. Back up the middle into center, and Cabrera has a leadoff single here in the 7th inning, his first hit today. He's 1 for 3. Tigers had their 5th hit. Just going to bring up Martinez.
A lot shorter, a lot quicker swing that time by Miguel Cabrera, and he turned around that 96-mile-per-hour fastball that Ogando has been featuring all day. And ball down. Cabby simply dropped the bat head in the hitting zone, and he drilled that ball right back up the box.
Victor is one of the few Tigers today that has been able to figure out Ogando. A couple of hits.
Texas Rangers are playing behind Cabrera at first base. If Cabby feels like he could get down to second base, it might not be a bad idea to do so. You stay out of the double play, but you better make it.
1-1. Driven to right field, base hit. Cabrera goes to second. Here come the Tigers now. Back-to-back hits. And Victor's 3 for 3.
It's another fastball right down the middle, and it's smashed by Victor Martinez, and that's going to prompt a visit from the pitching coach, Mike Maddox.
It's the 10th game this season in which Victor has had 3 or more hits. His average continues to climb. Action to their bullpen, the veteran Darren Oliver. We have seen him in this series. 5-0. Tigers trail it, but they have something brewing here now as Carlos Guillen steps into the box. Ball 1.
And get ready for that heater, Carlos. Carlos loves the ball down and in. If Ogando does throw him a fastball down and in, more than likely Carlos is going to get a really good pass at it.
First time today the Tigers have had a man in scoring position. And now it's 2-0 on Carlos Guillen.
Tigers have lots of right-handed weapons on their bench. And should Ron Washington go to his left-hander? They've got Peralta. They've got Maglio.
Popped him up.
Get out of here.
Third base side. There is room for Young. And that's a big out for Ogando. 1 away. Now Wilson Benamy. That was the 91st first pitch rather, thrown by Ogando. 91. He's gotten Benamy twice. Swing and a miss. Benamy to strike out and a ground out today. Wilson back in the early part of the season was playing every day just about for Kansas City. In fact, he had a 13-game hitting streak in April.
And then Kansas City fell out of contention and they started their youth movement.
Good block at home plate by Napoli.
Young players like Hosmer, Moustakas in the infield. A lot of young pitchers on that that Kansas City Royals pitching staff.
We'll see him again beginning tomorrow night. Tigers going to Kansas City. Two and one. Royals also getting a bounce back season from Alex Gordon, who I guess is really putting it together more than anything else. Fans starting to make some noise now. Tigers need some runs here. The 2-1. Fouled away. 2-2 on Wilson Benamy. Meanwhile, Billy Butler's starting to heat up too.
Yes, he is. 6 home runs in 9 games.
And Hosmer was the rookie of the month in the American League for July.
Hosmer looks like he's going to be a special player for a long, long time.
There's a base hit to left. Cabrera coming to third. They're going to stop him, but he's coming home, and he'll score. Right through the stop sign of Gene Lamont. Cabrera said, "I'm coming home, big fella."
I think what happened there is the fact that Cabrera read the ball. I mean, if you're Gene Lamont, you don't want to run into any outs at home plate, so the safest thing to do is to put up the stop sign. But I think Cabrera knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that Hamilton running to his left would be impossible for him to come up and throw Cabrera out at home plate. And so Cabrera simply ran through the stop sign. That's the second time Cabrera's run through a stop sign this year, and he's made it home successfully on both occasions. But you don't want to make a habit of that.
32nd RBI of the year for Wilson Betemit. It's now 5-1. Here's Rayburn. Right back up the middle. That's into center field. Martinez coming to third. He'll come around to the plate, and the throw cut off. RBI single for Ryan Rayburn, 5-2.
Tigers starting to jump on Ogando here in the 7th inning. They've had no success in the 3 prior starts against Alexi, and I'm not so certain if Moreland lets that ball go. They may have had a play on Victor Martinez. Take a look at where Victor is when this ball gets in the glove of Moreland, the first baseman.
A bit close. That's going to be it for Ogando. Well, he is knocked out of the game here, having given up 4 hits in this inning. He will leave with runners at first and second and 2 runs in. And as the Rangers go to the bullpen, we will step aside in a 5-2 ball game.
Was pretty much able to maneuver his way through the Tigers hitters for 6 innings. He had 7 strikeouts, all of which came on the fastball, with the exception of that one, that swing by Ryan Rayburn. But an electric fastball today by Ogando. Really good breaking balls. Changed speeds with his breaking ball, and he was very effective once again here against Tigers hitters.
6 1/3, 7 strikeouts, didn't walk anybody, but he is still responsible for the 2 runners aboard here. And Darren Oliver will take over.
42nd appearance for the ageless wonder. Darren Oliver, a couple of days ago, he pitched the 7th inning, and he did not give up anything. He's not been scored upon on 17 of his last 19 outings.
So here's the bench you were talking about. Tigers will dip into it. Johnny Peralta will bat for Ramon Santiago.
And only 4 of the 19 inherited runners this year have scored against Oliver.
First pitch in for a strike, breaking ball, 0-1. 97 pitches for Ogando before departing. Fouled away, no balls, 2 strikes.
Darren Oliver's numbers are slightly better against right-handed batters versus left-handed batters. But Jim not buying into that theory. He's looking for a big fly here. And when you've got a couple of runners on base and you've got a guy that has power, 16 homers already, and by Johnny Peralta, why not take a shot at it?
And the 0-2. Little pop-up that goes foul and broke his bat. Dirks is due next, but Ordonez has picked up a bat as well. He is loosening up in the Tiger dugout. There's Andy waiting in the on-deck circle. Tigers still have some hitters on that bench. Here's Maglio. Oh, 0-2 on Peralta. He's the tying run at the plate here in the 7th inning. And he fouled it off on the check swing. Five runs, 11 hits for Texas. 2 runs, 8 hits for Detroit. Popped him up left side of the infield. Andrews, 2 gone. So Ordonez now will replace Dirks. They'll call Andy back, and Maglio moves to the on-deck circle. Introduced, and here comes Ron Washington. He'll make a move of his own. Oliver gets the only man that he faces, Johnny Peralta. And so Uehara will be summoned from the bullpen to face Maglio Ordonez. Here's some of that depth you were talking about that they picked up with the 2 guys at the trading deadline. They're going to get Uehara into the game.
Yes, they are. They also have Mike Adams. They got him from the San Diego Padres, which adds some length to that bullpen.
Texas.
Ryan Rayburn did some damage last night against Uehara. Gave the Tigers a 2-run lead late, and they went on to win the game by 1 run.
Oliver does his job and gives way now to Uehara.
66 strikeouts for Uehara in 49 innings pitched against just 8 base on balls. Yes, 8 walks this year, and his top fastball is 90 miles an hour.
By the way, that home run last night by Rayburn snapped a 16-inning scoreless streak over his previous 14 games. That's how dominant he has been. And Uehara will come on to face Maglio Ordonez in a 5-2 game. He is the tying run at the plate. Uehara set to go. Here comes Ordonez. 2 out of 7 of the series for Mags. Well, he had a really big, dramatic home run against the Angels and Jared Weaver on Sunday. Does he have another one in? Fouled back out of play, 0-1. Fouled away again. No balls, 2 strikes on Ordonez. Tigers got consecutive singles by Cabrera and Martinez in this inning. 1 out later, singles by Betemit and Rayburn. Plated a couple. Here's the 0-2. In the air. Shallow center field and caught by Endy Chavez to end the inning. So the Tigers get on the board. They get 2, they lead 2, and it's 5-2. Clubs of southeastern Michigan locations will be open after school and on Saturday, offering homework and other programs to help members during the school year. So when you're back to school, remember to get back to your club. Call 248-473-1400 or visit bgcsm.org to find the club nearest you. We've got some changes now for the Tigers. Johnny Peralta stays in the game. He'll play short. Maglio goes to right field and Rayburn goes to center field.
When I grew up in Santa Monica, California, I went to a boys club every single day. It was just a boys club at that point in time, but now the club that I grew up at is now a boys and girls club as well. But every day.
Big part of your youth, wasn't it?
Don't know where I'd be without the boys and girls club.
To shallow left center field. Bosch is called off by Rayburn, who at the last second pulls it in. 1 out of the 8th inning. Dwayne Belo came on and got the final out of the 7th. Here's Endy Chavez. Sliced foul back out of play.
Only the second time that Rayburn has been in center field this year for the Tigers. 1 inning of work in center field this year. So he's played all 3 outfield positions. He's played third. He's played second.
0-2 on Chavez. By the way, today it's a sellout crowd of more than 40,000 here at Comerica Park. They've piled in for a Thursday afternoon. 40,497. On a day in which the temperature has remained in the 70s. Very pleasant. The 0-2. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Chavez. Lifted to right field. Ordonez. 2 gone. And back up to the top of the order we go. Belo has retired all 3 that he's faced. Again, he hadn't pitched since July the 25th. Kinsler has an RBI single today. Jim Leland marching out to the mound. Albuquerque has been throwing in the Detroit bullpen. And Belo gives up the baseball. That means Al's going to come in, and he hadn't been on a big league mound in a while. July the 24th. And with Kinsler coming up here with his power potential, Jim Leland wants Mr. Albuquerque to get this final out. So as Al begins his warm-up tosses, we'll check out the Tigers' upcoming schedule. We mentioned this road trip coming up where the Tigers have some opportunities here, especially in that 3-game series against Cleveland, Rod, where they hopefully will play a little bit better this time around in Cleveland.
I don't see why they will not play better in Cleveland. I think this team kind of understands where it's at right now. It's a playoff team, and they have to take care of Cleveland. Some of the other teams they will play the remainder of the month are under 500 as a team. Even Cleveland, I think, now is under 500, aren't they?
54 and 54.
Okay.
But it seems like they're heading there. And meanwhile, the Tigers, in terms of their opponents, have maybe one of the easier schedules.
Well, they got all the tough games out of the way. They got New York out of the way early. They got Boston out of the way early this year.
So Albuquerque is on now to try and get that final out. Kinsler had an RBI single in the 4th, 1 for 4.
Tigers are going to have to watch Albuquerque very closely the remainder of the season. He's already had 1 DL stint, and they also slowed him down last week with some discomfort in the elbow.
He has been such a vital part of their bullpen. And he misses high. 1 ball and no strikes on Kinsler. .53 strikeouts in 33 1/3 innings.
Opponent's batting average 153 against Al.
2-0. Three balls, no strikes. July the 24th at Minnesota is Albuquerque's last activity in a big league game. .3-1 on Kinsler. And he lost him, ball 4. That'll keep the inning going for Texas now, and here comes Elvis Andrus. Been on base a couple of times today. Walked, stole a base in the first. He singled in the third. One of the 11 hits the Rangers have put up here this afternoon. And he is taking it, strike 1.
Kinsler has a pretty good ratio, or percentage I should say, at stealing bases this year. He is 19 of 21.
There he goes, and a ground ball to short. Peralta has one play. And that's to get Andrus at first, inning over. No runs, a walk, one left. We go to the bottom of the 8th here at Comerica Park. Still 5-2.
For the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast, the last couple of 8th innings have been very good 8th innings here against the Texas Rangers. It was Bosch a couple of days ago playing long ball, which aided the Tigers in winning the opener of the series. And then it was Ryan Rayburn last night against Uehara. And one of the newest members of the Texas Rangers bullpen, he shot him to left. Tigers went on to win that game by 1 run as well.
So it's a 5-2 ball game right now as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning here at Comerica Park. The Tigers and the Texas Rangers here in the finale. Mike Adams, the new pitcher now for Texas. Don Kelly leads it off and takes ball 1. Kelly, Bosch, and Cabrera, 2, 3, and 4 in the lineup. Here's the 1-0 pitch. There's a strike 1-1. Adams was putting up some unbelievable numbers, really, in San Diego.
He gave up a home run to Brennan Bosch on Friday, and that was the first home run that he allowed. I mean, you got to go all the way back to, I believe they told me, June of last year that he gave up a home run to a left-handed batter. 140-something ABs in between home runs to lefties.
Last year he appeared in 70 games with San Diego, ERA of 1.76. The year before that, ERA of 0.73 out of their bullpen. The 1-2. Bouncing ball to short. Andrus on the charge. Kelly is out. One gone here in the 8th. That'll bring up Mr. Bosch. Oh for 3 in this one.
Great at bat Brennan had against Adams on Friday night. It was an 8-pitch at bat. Brennan had fallen behind Adams, no balls and 2 strikes. And before running the count to 1-2, fouling off several pitches and got a change up and hit a seed into the right field seats.
Ground ball to first this time. Right at Moreland, and he'll feed the pitcher covering. 2 gone. So I would imagine this is what Ron Washington was thinking about here when he got these 2 guys. He got Uehara and now Adams here, and he got Feliz to try and close it out, helping out the back end of their pen. 2-out chance now for Cabrera. Miguel started that little rally for the Tigers in the 7th, in which they scored their 2 runs. He had a base hit. In the inning, they knocked Ogando out of the game. Ball 1. Adams, a native of Corpus Christi, Texas. 33 years old. Right back through the box into center field, out of the reach of Kinsler, and it almost hit Adams. Second hit for Cabrera. Ninth hit for the Tigers in this game. Just another bullet off the bat of Miguel.
He got lucky he didn't get hit by that pitch.
So Martinez now with a 3-for-3 day stepping in.
Excuse me, he's lucky he didn't get hit by that base hit off the bat of Cabrera. Adams, that is.
Bouncing ball to first. Should get him out of the inning. Adams will cover, and that is that. So the Tigers get a hit, strand a man. Let's go to the 9th. Boston leading New York by 1. Tampa 11 games back. And that obviously turning into a two-team race there. When you figure as well that the wild card is probably going to come out of the East the way it's shaping up.
Yep.
Here come the Rangers now in the 9th inning. Josh Hamilton leads it off, and he looks at strike one. Albuquerque came on, gave up a walk, but got an out in the 8th. It'll be Hamilton, Young, and Cruz here in the 9th. Albuquerque's 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2 on Josh Hamilton. 2 singles and a run scored. Here's the 1-2. And it bounces in. Look out. That one came up and it nailed Victor Martinez. Really nailed him.
Where to get him at? Out. Right elbow. Funny bone.
Still trying to get the feeling back in. 2-2 on Josh Hamilton. Wave and a miss. Albuquerque strikes him out. Al's first of the day.
There's that slide piece. Hamilton swung right over the top of it, just as a lot of left-handed batters have done this year. And you can see the grip that Albuquerque has with his slider. Most guys have their index and their ring fingers together when throwing a slider, but he has his fingers separate.
And it took an Albuquerque slider to record the first strikeout for Tigers pitching today.
I was talking to Jeff Jones a couple of weeks ago about the Albuquerque slider, and he told me that he'd never seen anybody hold the slider the way that Albuquerque has and holds his and get that kind of action on the pitch.
Did you ever ask Al who taught him the grip?
No. Take a look at the grip here. What is a dandy of a pitch, though? Whoever taught it to him.
Young had a big RBI triple back in the 7th. It got them their 5th run of the game and a swing and a miss. Albuquerque's this year's surprise for the Tigers, really coming out of nowhere to light the league on fire with the way he has pitched. And the 1-2. Bouncing ball right side on a backhand. Kelly. Al covers. 2 gone. Tigers will have Guillen, Bedamit, and Rayburn in the bottom of the 9th. Here's Nelson Cruz. Martinez with some last-minute instructions on how they want to attack Cruz here. Driven to the air to center. Rayburn cruising over, and that is that for Texas. A 1-2-3 inning for Albuquerque. We go to the bottom of the 9th. 5-2 Rangers.
Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Strength and stability since 1849. Wallside Windows. For a free in-home estimate, call 1-800-521-7800. And by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers, visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. Last call for the Tigers here as we go to the bottom of the ninth inning. It is 5-2 in favor of Texas. Tigers need 3 here to keep this one going. And they'll have to get it done against the closer of the Texas Rangers, Neftali Feliz.
He's blown 5 saves this year. Yeah, but he comes in with a 3.26 earned run average. The strikeout numbers are down just a shade for Feliz this year. Opponent's batting average is not very high, though. He's only yielding a 212 batting average to the opponents, and he's given up 4 home runs.
So the Tigers here in the ninth inning have Guillen, Bedamit, and Rayburn scheduled.
The Texas Rangers started to stretch Neftali Feliz out in spring training. They were entertaining the thoughts of making him a starter in their rotation this year, but then they thought better of that. He was just too valuable as a closer, and then that's when they changed directions. And today's starter, Alexi Ogando, who they told was going to be the closer starting this season, they simply put him in the rotation.
And apparently they've gone in the right direction on both ends. We'll see what Feliz can do here to try and save this one for Texas. Guillen will lead it off, and Carlos looks at strike 1. Oh for 3 for Guillen today. Threw it by him at 99 miles an hour.
And they got Feliz from the Atlanta Braves a few years ago when they dealt Mark Teixeira to the Atlanta Braves. They also got Elvis Andrus, last night's starter as well, Matt Harrison. Talk about one move getting your organization on track. That's what Teixeira did for the Texas Rangers.
Yeah, Feliz last year had 40 saves for them.
Rookie of the year. Last year he edged out our very own Austin Jackson.
Rangers had the MVP and the Rookie of the Year. The Tigers had the runner-up in both of those categories. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. He chased one at 97 right at the letters.
Last couple of years it's kind of gotten to the point of where if you are not a winning club, it's tough for you to get some of those postseason awards. MVP, Cy Young, Rookie of the Year. Those awards usually are going now to teams that are getting to the postseason.
Jackson had 98 votes. Feliz 122. Wilson Bedamit. Strike 1. Single in a run back in the 2-run 7th for Detroit. Feliz turned 23 years old in the month of May 2nd. Electric young arm. He can throw triple digits. Feliz first came up for Texas at the end of the 09 season and struck out 39 in 31 innings.
Dominant.
And it was then and there the Rangers figured out this guy's going to be pretty good. And he followed that up with his rookie season, winning the Rookie of the Year award and helping lead his team to the World Series. 2-2 on Bedamit. Swing and a miss. And Feliz
saunters off the mound after his second strikeout. 2 gone. It's up to Ryan Rayburn. Tigers need a couple of base runners here to bring the tying run to the plate. Adams pitched the 8th, and now Feliz here in the 9th. They had Uehara to close out that 7th inning. Here's ball 1. On to Kansas City after this one, where tomorrow night it'll be Rick Porcello and Felipe Paulino. Rick, double-digit winner this year. Breaking ball away. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Porcello appears to have taken that next step as far as his fastball command is concerned. With each start, that velocity increasing up to that 95-mile-per-hour range that we heard so much about regarding Rick when they made him their #1 draft choice a few years back.
Meanwhile, Feliz now has reduced this game to a single strike if he can get it. He struck out Guillen, struck out Bedamit. 2-2 on Ryan Rayburn. That'll get back out of play. Here's what's awaiting the Tigers: Paulino, Duffy, and Chen, and the Tigers counter with 3 pretty good ones in Porcello, Verlander, Scherzer.
We saw that Duffy kid in a start last time we were there, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
He's got a good arm.
I liked it.
He had a good arm.
Of course, Chen is the veteran that's been around a long time. His name was being mentioned at the deadline. And here's another one back out of play. 2-2 on Rayburn. If he keeps it going, Johnny Peralta would be next. Bouncing ball to third base. Blanco throws him out, and that's the ball game. The Rangers avoid the sweep as they beat the Tigers here this afternoon by a score of 5-2. And Ron Washington had his bullpen work like a charm in this one. Uehara, then Adams, and then Feliz. And there are your final totals. Tigers out hit today 11-9. But still, they take 2 out of 3 from the Western Division leading Texas Rangers. 5-2 your final. Back with more. We'll come back to Comerica Park in a moment.